Weight Watch with Luka? I don't know. I'm just happy we're talking about men's bodies for once. Paul, should Lakers fans be excited to see a slimmed down Luka?
I mean, I don't know, Joy. The guy averages 30.
I know.
He averages 38 and 8, and y'all talking about his weight.
I don't get it.
Let's talk about his mentality on defense, because I figure, like, that's the issue.
I think that is the reason why people focus on his weight, because they associate his weight with why he doesn't play defense.
No, that's a mentality. Like, defense is a mentality. Rebounding and the effort stuff is hustle mentality. It has nothing to do with his weight, because as far as his production, he's one of the most productive players, been first team All-NBA every single year. So don't make this a weight thing and try to throw us off the subject. He needs to learn how to play some damn defense and not get isolated and picked on. That's the issue with him, not his weight. I don't care. He come in there 300 pounds. If he give me 38 and 8, I'm good with that.
I don't want him to come in at 300, but
he can give me 38 and 8. I'm good with that. Shaq couldn't make free throws, right? We was good with everything else he gave us.
No, that's very true. But Shaq was a different force under the rim.
He's a force. He's a force out there.
He do look slim, Morris. I mean,
but there's a difference between losing weight and being fit. You know, I'd rather for him just to be fit. Of course, it's correlated in some type of way, but he can slim down and still not have the best cardio out there.
Yeah.
So I want to see at the end of game. So if he gets his cardio up, I want to see him at the end of the game being able to take control. It seems like he lost a little steam, in this last playoff series towards the end of the game.
He definitely was heavy last year, no question about it. But if you think about what Paul was saying, when he came to the Lakers for about the first couple weeks, I would say, he was a hustle face on both ends of the floor. He was putting in the effort. Now, over time, he's decided to digress in terms of putting in that effort, Joy. He wasn't putting it in nearly as much. And I think if he puts in the effort, he can be I don't want to say a great defender, but he could be serviceable on the defensive side of the ball.
Maybe he was conserving his energy, though. It's hard to put in the effort over a long stretch of time.
No, that's true.
He can get in there and do it for the first 2 weeks, but those games keep hitting you back to back to back. It gets a little.
Then he had a little bit of a back issue going on, but that could have been attributed to being a little heavier than what he probably should have been.
I think, like Paul said, I'm cool with him on the offensive end. I think the Lakers, unfortunately, I'm a huge Reeves fan, but I think both of them on the perimeter, I think it's just not going to work.
No, Reeves is cool, but we
can't have both of them on the perimeter.
Nope.
I don't care if Luka was 120 pounds. It's not going to work.
It don't matter how much in shape he is. He can't guard his position.
I agree.
Because everybody is more athletic, faster, quicker. They can jump,
position.
all that. Yeah,
right. I agree.
Position.
So you got to figure out how to make him effective. Maybe he guards the power forwards because he is 6'8", 6'9". Like, you got to change some other things up.
But them stretch fours is more explosive than him too, Paul.
But they don't post up. They play on the perimeter.
Yeah, they can blow by him, though. His problem is people blowing by him.
He has a better chance at guarding that than his position, though.
So let me see, who would, it couldn't have been Julius Randle.
He would have had a better chance versus him than being out on the island.
Julius Randle killed us.
Yeah, but then you would be out on the island with Ant-Man. Like,
I mean, you can't be the face of an organization and the star and as good as Luka is and be a complete liability on defense. I don't know that it has anything to do with how much he weighs, though.
He took us to the championship last year, 2 years ago, meaning us four. He took us on his back.
We have to stop being so disrespectful to that team.
He took us seriously.
I mean, maybe me. I can shoot a three, Key, but I don't know. I don't know about all that. I understand. I don't care what Luka looks like. I don't care if he has muscles or not. It's not making no difference to me.
He ain't gonna have no muscles.
I think,
but it's not. But I mean, Paul just said it. It's not about muscles or being in shape or being on a diet. It's about effort.
Pretty much.
Okay, so that's really what it comes down to. I think the conversation, it makes me uncomfortable, if I'm being honest with you.
What makes you uncomfortable? Wait, what makes you uncomfortable?
I don't care if Luka's on a diet. He's giving you 35 every night. Like, diet what?
Well, you still have to be in shape, though, to make that effort, though, just like you just said.
What kind of shape is he in? He's played an entire season. Like, if he doesn't have cardio by then.
He
wears down at the end of games and at times in quarters where you can see his hands resting on the bottom of his shorts as he's leaning over. You could just look at certain things that say, well, maybe if he was in better condition in certain situations, they wouldn't pick on him as much.
I mean, how's he getting his cardio up at that point in the season?
There was a huge game last year when there was a play towards the end of the game where Luka failed to get back and guard the big man from shooting the three. I think if he was more in shape, he could have been down there and given him more of a defensive effort. I think it shows up. Every little play matters.
It's a mentality, though. But see, this is what's going to happen because he has to play a different game, for one. He has his ball usage is way too much, and he's always been like that. He has to do everything for the team offensively to where now when he has to play defense and he gets picked on, he don't have the energy for that. You know what I'm saying? Because like when I was playing and I was the main go-to guy, right? And I'm getting the ball every time down on offense. You know, I would wait till like the fourth quarter to guard like the star so I could conserve something on that end of the court. Whereas now, they search you out. So he's not only being ball dominant on offense, they're taking advantage of him on defense, and he just doesn't have that mentality to play it. Now, can he be in better shape? Oh, okay. But when you don't have the mentality to play defense, I don't care what kind of shape.
So where did he get it from for the first couple of weeks that he was with us, though? He found the mentality.
That was new energy. That was like, I just got here. Oh, I'm with LeBron. Let me take a charge.
And they threw him out on the street, in the LA streets and told him they left him there because he was fat.
Wow. Well, I beg to differ that he's doing everything offensively. You still have Austin Reeves, you still have LeBron.
Did they not?
I don't recall that. You recall that?
I recall.
He said he was fat?
Well, people always kind of, I'm going to throw shade at Shady McCoy. One day, Shady looked like
Well, how did Shady get into this?
I just got to do it to Shady. One day he looked like a fullback. The next day he looked like Kevin Durant. That's how
we're doing a lot of body shade.
Yeah, I had to hit Shady real quick.
How did Shady get into this? I'm just saying that part of the reason why Luka is in LA.
Yeah, because they said
he doesn't play defense and he's not in shape.
And that may be true.
So when he got here, maybe he had that extra little, jolt to.
And he was coming off an injury.
That extra little jolt to motivate him, right?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that it's
intensity and energy throughout the rest of the season, focusing that mentality just like you did for the first couple of weeks. Carry it the rest of the season.
So then is it that he's eating too many snacks, or is it that he's just not mentally locked in?
Well, I think it's a combination. It could be a combination of both.
Because I don't see how he is putting up the offensive numbers that he's putting up and being able to maintain that level of consistency on that end of the court and not on the defensive end of the court.
Because he's putting more energy on the offensive more energy on the offensive side of the ball. He's reserving that energy for offense.
What's this place called? Luca Dončić?
The Luca Dončić Lounge.
Yeah,
He at the Luka Dončić Lounge.
We'll be in the Truth Lounge.
As long as he get us to the championship in the next couple of years, he can smoke, drink, do everything.
That's going to happen. That's going to happen.
Well, Morris, do you agree with Saquon Barkley that the efforts to ban the tush push are soft?
What's Paul clearing this? I mean, of course it's soft. What is he clearing all? What's going on here, Paul? Listen.
Paul's trying to behave himself.
This is ridiculous to ban this play when only the Eagles do it. I don't even know what grounds do they want to ban it because it doesn't look good.
They feel like it's like a cheap play.
It's not a real football play, is what they say.
But it's not but it is because it requires an exchange. And if you want to talk about bad plays, I mean, why do we kneel? How is it okay that we get the ball and the other team, 2 minutes left, and the other team has no timeouts? What do? We kneel it down. We kneel it down. There's only a center quarterback exchange. We don't try to advance the ball. There's no penalties. It's just 2 whole minutes. There's nothing happening. At least with this play, you can fumble the ball with this center quarterback exchange, and we're advancing the football. And in the Chiefs, the first Super Bowl we played against the Chiefs, we had a huge penalty that changed the course of the game on that play. So it's better than kneeling the ball.
You see how he threw that in there?
Yes.
I'm actually currently a World Series and Super Bowl champion right now.
You see how he threw that in there, real slick slide?
Yeah.
It is lame, like Saquon says. If you want to...
He said soft.
But he said
soft and lame.
I really use the lame part.
It's both, though. It's both.
I don't, soft-wise, it's just lame, more so than soft, because it's not, I wouldn't say it's more physical to the defense to make them feel like they can't do anything from a soft standpoint. They can't stop it because they don't understand how to stop it. And people that run it don't understand how to run it. There's many teams that run it. They just don't know how to do it. That's it. You got a quarterback that's squatting 600. You got one of the biggest, strongest offensive lines in the league. They know how to get low. They know how to pierce down. You got a quarterback that know how to get low, find the creases, whether it's right off the center's left side, right off the pinch or the right side, whatever it is, Jalen Hurts understands that. they do it better than most. And one of the reasons they do it better than most is because they started it. It's no different than a quarterback sneak. It's no different than a quarterback sneak.
Right.
Because if you really watch the videos and you really paying attention to it, they really not pushing him all that much. He's already most of the time beyond the line of scrimmage before they actually start shoving him. People don't even really be peeping it like that. They thinking because somebody's placing their hands on him that it's really giving him a strong push. No, a strong push is Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush against Notre Dame. That was an assistance. That's not what's happening with Jalen Hurts.
But what you just said, though, so you said the argument against it was that it was not a football play.
Yeah, that's what they're
saying. But by what you just said is the Eagles have perfected it. He can go to the left crease or to the right crease.
Or he can go straight over
Or
the
he can go
top.
straight, and they perfected it, so that makes it a football play.
It's a football play for me.
It's a football play.
Yeah, for me.
Well, also, what's the difference between, you running a running back just running into a wall of defenders and somebody comes behind him and pushes him 3 yards forward and they fall forward? Like, while the play is still going, you are allowed to assist. Like, that's how football works. I think it's lame and soft because stop it.
Well, they can't. That's why they complain
No, they
about
can stop it. It has been stopped, and other teams get stopped all the time. Stop it. Everyone is allowed to do it. This isn't some sneaky, Patriots early 2000s thing. Like, this isn't some loophole. All right, like this is a legitimate play, and they just happen to be better at it than everybody else.
They are better at it.
Everyone has the opportunity to do it. Everyone has the opportunity to practice it. Everyone has an opportunity to watch the film. It's not some secret vault. So what is the problem?
When you look at it too, though, from the standpoint of the different quarterbacks, for instance, Jalen Hurts is squatting 600 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson isn't as powerful as Jalen Hurts, right? So his push is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't getting the same type of force that Jalen Hurts is getting. Now when you look at Josh Allen's 6'6",
Yep.
6'5", 6'6". It's hard for him to get as low as Jalen Hurts. That's why every time he tries it, he's still upright, okay? Regular quarterback sneaks work for him.
Right, but
with no problem at all.
That's not cheating.
No, it's not. It's not. They just don't have the right personnel and they don't know how to do it. That's all it is.
And there's lots of plays that aren't run because they don't have the personnel to run it. That doesn't mean it can't be legal.
I'd rather them do it the way Philly's doing it than turn around and hand the football to a quarterback, running back that's 6 yards deep.
Yeah.
Because people don't count this, Morris. Line of scrimmage, let's say you need 1 yard. And the running back typically is probably 5 yards deep to 6 yards deep. That's 7 yards or whatever, Paul. Look how you got to now get the football and go 7 yards.
Yeah.
They don't even think like that.
Do you agree with Saquon?
Yeah, I agree with Saquon. I mean, but I do not associate the word soft with anybody in the NFL, by the way.
Well, that's why I said soft.
Right.
At least you know that now with the full beards.
Right, because I don't want them coming on this show to talk about Pete. What did you say? I didn't say nothing, sir.
But to that point, so I agree with you, but I don't think it was soft in terms of the football players. I think it was soft in terms of the front office or who's ever writing up the proposal. Right. We weren't referring to the players.
Right.
Probably somebody they never put on pads a day in their life.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Soft is it's a trigger word.
What?
I didn't say it was soft either, just to be clear. All right, so I want to get all of your thoughts on something. I always say LeBron James is the greatest American athlete of all time.
I do. Yes, I agree.
I think he's the greatest American superstar of all time. Superstar, not athlete. I think he's the greatest superstar of all time. So what are your thoughts
I think
on
he's
this?
the greatest American athlete of all time. Just when you consider the longevity of what he does. Of all the three major sports, no disrespect, I think a basketball player is the most athletic. You'd have to quickly transition.
I got to get this dude off the show.
Oh, wow, really? You have to quickly transition from offense to defense, and it requires skill in what they do. You don't agree with that?
No, go ahead, finish it.
So I feel what LeBron James has done as an athlete over the longevity that he's done it and played at a high level in a sport which is probably the most popular sport in the U.S. for young kids to be playing. And so I think he stayed at a high level for over 20 years and without decline. It's a sport to where once you decline either on offense or defense, they start hunting you. You know, it's a weakness that the other team is going to try to capitalize on. He stayed pretty consistent for 20 years. I don't think anybody else has done it that long. And he's had influence.
So you think he is the greatest American athlete of all time?
Yes.
Ooh.
See, first of all, I don't think so, because you probably need to do 2 type sports at the highest level, maybe even 3, when I start thinking about greatest of all times, I understand the longevity side. His body holds up. There's no question about it. His body, but everybody's genetics are different, right? I mean, it's just he just happened to be an alien or something. I don't know what it is.
I see where you're going, but to that point, just because he's never played another sport doesn't mean he couldn't.
No, I think he could have potentially been a great defensive lineman, a defensive end, a great tight end. Couldn't play wide receiver, too damn big. I wish people stopped saying that.
Okay.
He get chopped down, too big.
Okay.
But when I started thinking about dudes climbing walls, have you ever seen a guy climb a wall before?
What do you mean climb a wall?
Bo Jackson. Have you ever seen Bo Jackson climb that wall?
I think Bo Jackson. I've never seen him climb. I've seen him.
Do we have that video? Because if we do, we're gonna pull it up and show you.
But what does that mean, though? What are we talking about?
That's a freak, man. Look at this, Morris.
Oh, no, he was great.
That was like some Spider-Man.
Look, Bo was great.
And I don't know if that was after the broke hip or before.
Bo was a great athlete. And listen, let me say this, not to diminish any other sports. I do think that some sports require more skill than athleticism.
But so when you think about it, with a Bo, a Deion, for instance, they played Major League Baseball, okay, and was ridiculous at doing it. Also, played football and was ridiculous at doing it. And if they would have concentrated on one or the other, their entire careers, although Bo wound up getting hurt and then Deion goes into the Hall of Fame, Deion could have been, in Major League Baseball, one of the top 5 players of all time. Not to mention track, not to mention basketball that he played once upon a time. So when you start diving into it, and I like LeBron, I swear by LeBron.
I get it.
But when you climbing walls,
my question to you is,
that's unhuman.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying. And again, just because I make a case for LeBron doesn't mean I'm disparaging other people's sports. Okay, I just want to be clear about that. So, I mean, LeBron possibly could have played another sport.
Yeah.
And I understand about baseball. I think that baseball requires more skill than athleticism. You know, that people can play a whole baseball game without breaking a sweat.
Yeah, but when you combine the athleticism with the skill.
How do we know LeBron couldn't have done that?
I'm not saying he didn't.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't have any data saying that, but we got that.
Over how long of a period of time was that?
Bo played, I want to say Bo probably played 6 years, 6, 7 good years. He hurt his hip. Football.
I know. That's part of it. That's part of athleticism.
Do you think that, who do you think is the greatest American athlete of all time?
That's a great argument. I'm going way back in time. I think Wilt Chamberlain. People don't even know, you know what I'm saying? When I look at Wilt, and I had to look this up just to make sure, you know, he was a high level. He was track and field, basketball. He was high jump. He excelled in volleyball. And he won in all of them. But, you know, back then it wasn't like professional volleyball leagues at the highest level.
It wasn't as competitive.
Yeah, exactly. So I got Wilt Chamberlain being able to do all those things. You know what I mean? I think of multi-sports like you do too, Key. Because if you just think about one sport, if I say basketball, for me in basketball, if I say the best athlete ever in basketball, I probably would say Russell Westbrook. Like, cause I look at his body type, I look at he's averaged 4 triple-doubles. That's mentality, that's athleticism. That's
still running up and down the court.
He's still doing it.
It's like just an athlete to be able to do that over the course of 82 games, average a triple-double for 4 seasons. Like, that's ridiculous athleticism.
I mean, this is a preference question. I mean, because you can talk about Michael Phelps, you can talk about Serena, you can talk about Ali, you can talk about, you know, Simone Biles. Like, there's incredible, I mean, athletes.
There are incredible athletes.
But I can back up your argument. I'm not saying that I completely agree, but where I will back up your argument for LeBron is we ignore that he's played 3.5 extra seasons on top of what he's already played. You include the Olympics and you include all the postseason games that he's played. He's played his 22 seasons plus an extra 3.5, and he's still second team All-NBA. Like, he's still playing at this level in the 1% of 1%ers of athletes in the world. Yeah. So for him to have this much longevity, the skill level and the ability to play the level that he's playing at with all of that wear and tear and years on his body, it's really tough to argue, because There's athletes that have done a bulk of things. I mean, even Brady, who I think is way undervalued as an athlete. Don't give me that.
I didn't give you anything, but we're not. Tommy's my guy, but
okay, I think he's way undervalued as an athlete. Okay, I don't think it was all neck up. All right. So let me not get into this. I think that when you consider everything, you can certainly make the argument for LeBron. I think LeBron is the greatest superstar, like all-encompassing, being in the limelight since he was 16 years old, playing at the level he's played for 22 plus 3 seasons, for him to be the winner that he is, to have put the team around him that he has, like the all-encompassing. I think he's the greatest superstar. Forget sports, include music, movies, everything that we've ever seen in history and probably ever will again.
And to that point, it's the pressure and the microscope that he's under every single minute that he's on the court. Every single minute that he's playing, he's under a tremendous amount of pressure. So he's doing all of that, staying in top shape under all that pressure. But what?
See, we grabbing stuff and adding to it.
I'm adding to it.
Okay, we are grabbing.
But all those things contribute to it.
But see, now we could do this with Michael. Michael gambles in the middle of the night, then goes and drops 50 at the Garden. We can start doing all of this.
But we can have social media like this.
I think Michael Jordan
in the casino.
But still knew that he was gambling because he got out. We still knew
we
still knew.
For me, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all times.
He played baseball too.
Well, he's the greatest basketball player of all time. But how long did he play?
Well, he played.
It contributes.
No, but if he wanted to,
13.
But if he wanted to, though,
could he have played 20 at this level?
Well, he played 13 with the Bulls, but then you remember he's retired for those 2 years.
Right.
So that probably would have been 15. Then
so 15?
He came back for 2 seasons with the...
so 17.
He would have played 17 if he didn't quit.
But think he quit, though, right? So when he quit, he was chilling, hanging out. He came back as a 4, not as a 2.
But he came back and won another championship.
No, I'm talking about came back. I'm talking about can't get 3. But I'm talking about came back to Washington before Paul embarrassed the organization in Washington.
But at what level?
Paul game with the Wizards.
What level of basketball was he playing with the Wizards?
He was fat and out of shape and chilling.
That contributes to the whole thing.
But he was hanging out. He was smoking cigars and cognacs. He wasn't even thinking about that, though.
That contributes to it, though. That contributes.
See, we can't do that,
That doesn't contribute to it?
We can't do that, though.
That doesn't contribute to it.
If he'd have played straight through,
now we're doing hypotheticals.
But what if he'd have played straight through?
What if Bo would have played straight through? What's that?
Oh, it seems like we're kind of talking about the greatest basketball player.
No, the only reason why...
I think Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player.
And the only reason why I threw...
But the most athletic basketball player?
No. I'm saying the greatest U.S. athlete.
Do you think like a gymnast is like a better athlete than a basketball player?
So here's the thing. That's why I'm saying the greatest U.S. athlete. I'm not saying the most athletic basketball player. I'm not saying the greatest basketball player. I'm saying
I think that boxers are the best athletes in the world.
Do you really?
No, I seen Lloyd. I done seen Sugar Shane get on the basketball court and then was gasping for air. I seen that.
Yeah, but I've never seen a basketball player get punched in the face and the sides. Like you ever done a boxing workout?
No.
Boxers to me are the best athletes in the world.
Boxers?
They get tired on the basketball court though.
I got tired of the basketball court too.
This is my opinion, and I think the gymnasts are second.
Gymnasts can be up there, yeah. Simone Biles could be the best American athlete.
Yeah,
she could be.
Man.
I think Serena Williams could have a case as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's LeBron.
That's an argument.
I don't know what y'all looking at me for.
What is your final answer?
I got to go with like Deion's and Bo's.
That's 2 people.
I'm talking about that type though.
Because they played 2 sports.
Multiple sports.
Multiple sport
high
athletes.
level.
For a short period of time, yes.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.